So basically the topic today was that everything is work. No matter what it is that you do, no matter what it is you do, like Zach shining his shoes, that's work. Going out and picking out these beautiful outfits, that's work. I mean, even like down to like the girls that love shopping, live for shopping, right? It's work. They might love it. They might do it with a passion. Where me, I fucking hate shopping. Like, I don't even like going into the fitting room. I just like want to grab stuff. I go, this looks like it'll fit, and I get the fuck out of the building.
Exactly what I do too. I'm in. I go into every store knowing exactly what I want before I go in, and then I get that, I'm gone.
And get the hell out.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's it.
And try to make it a short day. Like, me and my wife went shopping for shoes. She bought 3 pairs of shoes the other day. I bought 2. But you got to understand, we hardly ever buy stuff for ourselves. It's always the kids. And literally, we go into the store and we're out of the store. She has her 3 pairs in like 15 minutes. Same thing with me. Like, I walk in, I just look for the 2 pairs of shoes, set them down. Hey, you got these in 13s? Put them on, great. Check out and go. I'm not here trying to talk about shopping or anything like that.
No, let's do that.
But ultimately everything that you do is work. And when I started in the electrical fields, so I've been doing this, July 5th will be 25 years. When I started in the electrical field, especially when I started I would always move up to leadership levels really fast. But first as a foreman, starting to do big commercial jobs and stuff like that. I remember being excited Sunday to go to work on Monday. I remember people always saying, hey, do you have to go to work tomorrow? And I'd be like, no, I get to go to work tomorrow. Just pumped about it, just super, super ecstatic about the fact that I get to go to work. And, over time, it was more always about the next level that I could go to, and building on that created the passion I had for the electrical field. Now, it's not so, like, it's become more work to me, if that makes sense.
Sure.
And really, I think ultimately, like, even your kids, like playing like Fortnite and stuff like that, that's fucking work. That's like strategy. That's, I don't understand Fortnite, so if I'm misrepresenting Fortnite in any way, please feel free to not correct me, because I don't give a fuck about Fortnite. But I mean, like, whatever you're finding, whatever, you know what I mean? The where you can hide, you learn the game. It's like an active learning process.
My buddy in high school was playing Halo so much that he knew when he would pick up a weapon, when it was going to respawn. He had the time, like, in his head. He's like, it's going to respawn in 3 seconds, and you run over there and it respawns you. Oh, dude, you play this too much.
But that's
what you're saying.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So, like,
it didn't work.
Right. It's a diligent effort. I mean, I would argue that getting good at Halo probably is just as much work as learning to fucking code.
Yeah.
But one actually will make you money and one fucking won't. And that's the other thing that I was going to get to is a lot of people throw out that concept that do what you love and the money will come later. Such a beautiful statement. It's fucking bullshit. It's total fucking bullshit. You have to learn to monetize whatever it is you love to do. You can't just like let's take the guys that become professional video game players. Mm-hmm. They don't just sit on their fucking couch and just play video games, drinking Red Bulls and shit forever, and then one day somebody knocks on their door and says, hey, I want to pay you a bunch of money to play video games. It doesn't work like that. You have to actively figure out how to monetize what you're doing. And that goes with anything and everything that you could ever want to do, that you so-called love to do. Mm-hmm. Do what you love and the money will come later. You have to actively figure out how to monetize it, no matter what it is you do. So it's strange how many misleading ideas, misleading statements we've been indoctrinated with as we're growing up. like literally right now, I think people are actually starting to realize, well, maybe fucking school should start teaching economics.
Yeah.
Maybe school should start teaching how to invest. Actually start teaching you what a fucking 401k is before you're sitting there across from somebody that has no idea what the fuck a 401k is, and you're like, well, which 401k should I pick? They're like, I don't know, everybody picks this one. You're like, oh, okay, and that's the only frame of reference that you use to pick the stupidest fucking decision that you make in your life, because the mutual funds attached to that 401k have more fees than you actually potentially could get in percentage gain being invested into that 401k. That's the thing about 401ks, it's so scandalous, and people don't even research it. They don't even know what the fuck they're doing. Oh, that one looks pretty. You know, it's fucking stupid. That's why I talk so much shit about 401ks. The thing that basically back to that, everything that we do is work. You actively have to figure out what skill set you have. Like if you're good at building trucks, or if you're good at tearing engines down, and this is something you love to do, think about, as you're going through the process, how do you monetize that? I know when I was doing a lot of wrenching, when I've been in the trades and framing and both and electrical, throughout that entire process, I'm thinking, hey, what if I had this tool? Would make this so much fucking easier, because this tool doesn't exist. I'd literally weld up a tool to be able to perform one little task that's going to happen all the time on a vehicle, or whatever engines that I'm working on, which is mostly Chevy 350, super basic shit. I'm not like some crazy Toyota, Nissan, Prius, whatever the fuck mechanic. Simple basic shit. You could take that and monetize that. What is it that you're doing that you can monetize? When you wake up in the morning and go to work every single day to make money, then you come home at the end of the day and you have your basic routine, and you're stuck in these brackets of a frame of life that you're going to live in, because you think that you're doing great because you might be doing better than your parents did when you were raised. So you're using that as your frame of reference as far as your success goes. That's not necessarily the level that you can get to. If it's the level that you want to stay at and you're comfortable at that level, stay at that level. But what you have to realize is you can learn Excel. In the office environment, everything's based off of Excel, massive levels of Excel. If you want to be in this trade and move to like project management, project engineer level, learn fucking Excel. Literally, like you could go online to lynda.com or udemy.com, and you could probably get through it in a week and start writing fucking macros by the end of the week. That's really not that much fucking work. It is work, because I'm sure you're not in love with fucking doing Excel. I don't think I've met a single person that is. Even the people that are fantastic at it fucking hate Excel. But if you get Excel under your belt, that right there is a big freaking thing that'll move you into an office environment. One of the big key puzzle pieces to it. There's a lot of pieces to it as well, but back onto like adding layers, and we were talking about this last week. Learn something new to add to your toolbox. It's all fucking work. Everything we do is work. Doing your dishes is fucking work. I mean, some people might even think that playing with their kids is work. There's people that are like wanting to get in shape because they don't have enough cardio fucking durability to hang out with their kids, and that's one of the things that they want to get to in their life, is be able to hang out with their kids, and they want to lose enough weight that they can hang out with their kids. But hanging out with your kids is fucking work. Losing the weight to get to the point where you can have that durability and that stamina is going to take fucking work. Everything that we do is work, and it's just really how you perceive it is whether or not you move forward with it or sit there and go, oh, I gotta go to the gym. And And these paradigms can go all can shift all the time. You could go from like, oh man, I gotta go to the gym, to like, fuck dude, I gotta get to the gym, man. I'm jacked. I gotta feel that pump today.
So what separated that for you though, that made you say I get to go to work rather than I have to go to work? Because everything takes a sacrifice. You're saying everything is work, but everything takes a sacrifice too. Was it just because you loved it? Or was there something in your mind that you were able to shift? And I think that's something that you kind of see in the more successful people, is they're able to shift things in their mind a lot easier.
For me, it was, okay, now I know how to bend pipe. Okay, now I know how to pull wire. Okay, now I know how to terminate transformers. Now I know how to terminate panels. Now I know now I can build the entire job. Now how do I do it with multiple people? Now how do I do it and figure out how to do it faster than anybody else? How do I come into a super tight job and blow it the fuck out of the water? It was just always that constant challenge.
Yeah.
And I think you got the topic coming up next week on
Pressure is a privilege.
Pressure is a privilege, and I think that's a big part of why I would move to the next level. And I think a lot of people in the trade do this. They just don't know. They want to be better than the next guy. They want to be, you know what I mean, next level. They're just not always shown the doors to go through. And I think in a lot of ways there's a selfishness to that, because I think people at higher levels sometimes, leadmen, journeymen and stuff like that, defend their positions jealously and don't fuel the people below them as much as they should in order for them to elevate to their level or past their level.
That's something that does occur a lot. But like you always said, you got to train someone to take your place to move up.
You always do, and it makes your fucking life easier.
It's pretty simple. They're not going to move you up until they have someone that can take your spot.
Right. But I mean, maybe you get to a point like where I'm at right now, where there isn't any more spots beyond where I'm at. So.
Yeah, but you say they're doing it jealously, and I think they just don't realize that it's actually.
It's not jealously. It's like they're just defending their position jealously because they hadn't had it for very long.
Yeah.
And I think over time you get to a point where you don't care about the defending your position jealously doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah.
It's like becoming a lead man on a job site, and you're functioning at a foreman level. You don't care about that lead man position anymore because you just care about the foreman position level now.
Yeah.
It's all how you see everything. And literally, even today, my 8 to 10 hour days go by like fucking, it's like gone. Like, all right, well, I'm already at 10 hours right now. I might as well just fucking go home. You know, but I mean, 10 hours comes at 2 o'clock for me.
Yeah.
Just because I'm working with the field, and I don't take a lunch break. I just eat when I need to eat.
I guess what I'm getting at is how do we show people how to move past everything is work. We've established everything is work, but how to move them into the area that the things that they want to work on, they get that mindset that you had, that's I get to work. You know?
I guess it depends on what it is that you want to do, what it is you want to accomplish. And I think that a lot of the things that we do, because we're just in the mode of getting through the 8-hour day. I'm not necessarily talking about just your job. Maybe you're doing yard work. Maybe, you know what I mean? It's just you look at what you want to do. And this is where like the goals really come in heavily. Like instead of me worrying about getting to the end of my 8-hour day that day, I'm looking towards being at a certain level by the end of this year. And the thing that's interesting about our ab bet, so we got 8 weeks left. I was freaking out. I legitimately feel like I'm showing results right now, but I'm hitting freaking hard ab workouts, and I'm doing them every freaking day, restricting my calories below 2,600. I even have my food right now set up to where I have an exact regimen throughout the day that I never even get hungry, and I'm restricting calories the whole entire time.
And you're running. And you hate running.
I fucking stopped running.
Did you?
Yes. Well, Jeff Cavalier was breaking it down to heavy, intense weight training and stuff like that. I mean, I could do high intensity, the HIIT training, high intensity interval training.
Yeah, the sprinting.
Stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not passionate about running at all.
It's not for everyone.
It's definitely fucking work for me. So I've talked to some people that are like, dude, I love running so bad it lets me clear my mind, and it gives me it's almost like a meditative state for them where they get to reflect. I'm like, fuck, I gotta get to that fucking half-mile mark. I'll probably pick running back up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'll go in hard cardio, strictly hard focused on my abs, and weighted ab workouts to get the muscles to pop out more, rather than just trying to take away calories that I just don't even have to eat anyways. So instead of me running to burn 500 calories, I'm just not eating those 500 calories. It's a lot easier than fucking running. But my goal as in the electrical field was always to be a higher level foreman. Like if I was able to run a crew of 5 guys, I wanted to be able to run a crew of 10 effectively. Yeah. And if I was able to run 15 guys, I wanted to be able to run 20. And eventually I got to the point where I could run a 60-man crew with no fucking leads, which is a stupid way to do it. That's one of those things where I was jealously defending my position, and I'm working so fucking hard to make up for not using leads. I mean, typically you want a lead to at least cover 5 to 10 guys. Yeah. It depends on the level of lead. A lead carrying 10 guys is a high level lead. But I loved it so much. The passion was there so much because I wanted to be that freaking the best foreman, whatever, blah blah blah. Yeah. And the funny thing about it is you wind up falling into this thing where the only reason that you're the best foreman is because you're not looking around at other people. You're fucking tunnel visioning yourself and refusing to acknowledge the fact that somebody else might have better attributes than you. And you're holding your secrets that speed everything up and not sharing them with anybody else in order to pass everybody up. I did that for a long time. And then you start moving into the area where, like, dude, all these jobs are really fucking simple. Here's where your shortcuts are. Here's where your shortcuts are. Here's where your shortcuts are. And everybody's like, yeah, I know that, whether they know that or not. It's like communications 101. You already know all the fucking subjects, all the topics in communications 101. You just never heard them framed into a statement. Sure. And like when I took communications 101, I was like, I knew that. I knew that. I never, you know what I mean? It's like one of the first college classes I ever took on my 1-year college career. Yeah. Good thing I got the fuck out, because that shit's expensive, bro.
It is. It's very expensive.
But the you can play video games, and you can become wealthy playing video games.
You can.
Only if you figure out how to monetize that. You can be a gardener, just love gardening, and just go out. Like I assure you, you're going to lose if you think that you could just go out and garden, and that's all you're going to do, and you're just going to follow your passion of gardening.
And money's just going to come.
And money's just going to come. What you're going to find out is that you know how to plant food and grow food, but in that process, your house is going to get foreclosed on, your electricity is going to get shut off, and eventually your fucking water's going to get shut off. You can't just hyper focus on something without figuring out how to monetize it. What's that?
But you'll have food.
But you'll have food until the water runs away. That's that, and I bring that up because everybody, and I generalize like crazy, and the reality of it is, I'm not here to like say like my life's all fantastic, roses and fucking rainbows and unicorns or anything like that. Literally, the reason we're doing these podcasts right now is to give insight to people, to let them know that we're all the same fucking shit. We all think the same way. This is all communications 101 over and over again. I'm sure 90% of the shit that I say here has already occurred to most people that are watching these videos. I assure you. All I am is a minor example of application of these concepts. I hope to one day be a major example of application of these concepts.
That's good.
And as far as me like going, okay, this is what successes I've had, this is what successes I've had, I'm not gonna go down that road yet. I'm not going to explain that to anybody yet. I assure you that behind every single one of my successes has been at least 3 or 4 failures. In a big way. Not just little fucking like, oh, I spilled milk on the fucking ground, let's clean it up, little failures. Like literally, I tried day trading for 3 years. That was a $45,000 fucking failure.
It's a big one.
Yeah, and I don't need to go through the list, but I just figure out another way. You got to try to be like water. So water comes up to a fucking rock in a river, it doesn't stop. It fucking figures out immediately by instinct how to get around the fucking rock.
Eventually, over time, it erodes the rock, and the rock is gone.
Jason sent me a text the other day, dude, and it was freaking awesome. He's like, dude, what I see you, I see you as an unstoppable force, and you're consistently up against immovable objects. But the way that you function about things, he's like, that immovable object just becomes a speed bump to you. It stays there, immovable, but to an unstoppable force, it's nothing but a speed bump. And it's not like I'm anything special. There's nothing, fucking absolutely nothing special about me.
There's really not.
There really isn't. It's and the goal here, I know there's a lot of people out there that are way beyond my level. That's great. Maybe there's no value here for you. Maybe there is value here for you. There's people I know that want to get to where I'm at, and maybe that's who I'm speaking directly to right now. Get to my level, pass me the fuck up, and show me what cool shit that you're doing, and let's fucking grow together.
Yeah.
Like as a fucking army of just people having momentum. And I think right now, the way the world is set up currently, I think a lot of people are more moving towards the entrepreneurial level rather than the employee-based income. And that's not necessarily going to make employees go away, because it's
You can.
yeah, I don't think it'll ever
Always need to work.
the rise of the fucking machines isn't even going to do that shit. It's all, and everybody fucking needs employees. But what you're doing as an employee, do something or take your goals, set your goals inside that framework to move next level all the fucking time. People are going through the apprenticeship program, and then they have their goals set to get through the apprenticeship program. Some people stop right there. Some people move on to become foreman level, and I just keep using the electrical field as an example. And some people are already fucking foreman before they get out of the apprenticeship program. Like you were already foreman before you got out of the apprenticeship.
After my second year?
Second year in.
Well, after the second, so not quite into the third, but right there. But yeah.
And I guess ultimately the goal here, the objective here, is for people to have a renewed sense of direction. If you have a ship, like your vision, your long-term vision on everything that you want to do, if you want to be a fucking if you want to be a professional what's the name of the game? Why am I drawing a blank?
Fortnite.
Yeah, if you want to be a professional Fortnite
covered.
game player, figure out how to monetize that.
Yeah.
Then
YouTube
like
videos.
you figure out the framework for the monetization of it, then blast off on your passion and just keep going and going. It doesn't the monetization part only will come to you by some weird luck situation that only happens in Disney movies. It's not something that's real. Like what we were saying last week, you get what you work for, not what you wish for. If you like building things, figure out the market for it and then build that direction. Don't just start building shit thinking that all of a sudden one day you're going to make money doing it. If you're an inventor, figure out what the process is to patent. Instead of just sitting here tinkering around or having these ideas or having a list of things to patent, figure out what that whole process looks like, get the money together for that process, then build your prototype. Whether you're building a prototype digitally, the thing that's really interesting about inventions is there's a lot of people that use computer-aided drafting programs. There's people that use SolidWorks programs, all kinds of different programs. There's a lot of people out there. You can just look for them right there on Google. You could draw a simple little picture of what your design is with some little taglines on it of what you're actually going to want to do, and then pay them $50 and they'll put it on a CAD drawing, and then you have that for supplementation to be able to submit to the U.S. Trade and Patent Office. You can actually go through the patent process yourself. Learn how to do it. YouTube videos are on it. What I'm saying is no matter what it is that you love to do and move forward with, you got to do the little bit of fucking tiny work to be able to monetize that, and it's not that difficult.
Yeah. And so, going back to like where you said that you get to go to work, I think throughout that whole conversation right there, it's really how you perceive it.
Purely how you perceive
what you perceive that work. So if you're stuck in that point where you're like, I have to go to work, you got to change your perception on how you view that work to where you get to go to work. And if you can't get past that portion of that, I'm probably willing to say that you might be in the wrong profession. If you can't turn some sort of passion into what you're doing, and you can't get to that point where you get to go to work, it's probably not right for you.
It's sad to say too, maybe you have the wrong people around you.
That's possible too.
Because I don't think anybody deserves to live any day of their fucking life with somebody breathing down their neck, with somebody going, you're going to do this or else. I think the age of that being acceptable is quickly dissolving across the board. When you have way more fucking jobs than you have people to do the work, you have to really look at how you treat people. Some people don't. I heard this saying that a fish doesn't know it's in dirty water until you put it in clean water.
Mm-hmm.
One of these days, people are going to see clean water. My perspective on this is just treat people well.
It's coming. It's coming fast.
Oh, I think so too.
There's a lot of clean water businesses out there.
Oh, there is. There is, and when the corporation that's currently under construction right now gets to a point where it has employees, my dream is to have it to where here's what your tasks are, here's what needs to be done, here's what's expected of you this week. Come in, get your work done. If you want to bullshit around the water cooler half of your day and then dilly-dally about your work, you get that work done that week, we're good. If you want to come in and blast it out in 10 hours on Monday, take fucking the next 6 days off. We're good. Mm-hmm. You start looking at some of these bigger companies' business models where I believe it's Google that gives you unlimited vacation days. Paid vacation days. As many paid vacation days as you want to take, you can take. But you have to fulfill your responsibilities.
Yeah. I want to.
There's a lot of people. Go ahead.
I can't remember the name of this company. I'm gonna have to look it up and come back. But he made his workload from 40 hours a week down to 32. So he made it mandatory that the most work you could possibly do was 32 hours.
I think that no matter
And his efficiency went through the roof.
I think no matter what, in an office environment, you're lucky if you get 30 hours worth of production out of a 40-hour work week. Lucky. There's a lot of conversations that are nonsense. I talk to people that work in big call centers, big corporate structures and stuff like that. There's research that's done out of like an 8-hour day, literally only 5 hours worth of work at best gets done. And that the 5 hours is just like, I gotta get through this. It's work. There's no play aspect to it. There's no passion aspect to it. It's just like I'm showing up to put in my 8-hour day, and I'm gonna fill that up however I'm gonna fill it up. A friend of mine, Rod, he was telling me about his son, that his son was hired into a high-level position in a corporate environment, and he took on the job of 2 people. He said in 1 year's time, he completely eliminated both positions. He was asking me, he's like, do you think he got fired after he made those 2 positions completely obsolete? And I was like, no, he probably got a promotion. He's like, that's right, he got a fucking promotion. And there's a lot of double work that happens all the time. There's a lot of redundancies. There's a lot of tunnel vision on how things should be done that make it more difficult than that make things more difficult and process heavy than they need to be. There's like literally like if I was in a position where I worked 45 hours a week, 45 hours a week on a salary, and I knew what my goal was, my end goal for that week, the amount of work that I needed to have in place to be considered effective, and as soon as I hit that mark, I could take the rest of the week off till the following Monday. I assure you that I would find a way to get all that fucking work done in one fucking 10-hour day. And I assure you that I probably fucking could. Obviously, there's
aside from your communication,
right. That's what I was going to say. There's a lot of collaborative stuff that still needs to occur, and you have to be present for the collaborative stuff. But I mean, as far as the busy work goes, as far as getting stuff in place, you could do this stuff incredibly fast.
Sure.
My position right now requires me to drive everywhere, so half of my workday is windshield time.
Audible.
It's audible. I listen to a lot of books, and it's cool that I have the luxury to be able to do that. Not everybody does. Ultimately, it's on this episode. It's think about how you can make your work not work, and ultimately, what I'm saying is, look at the goal. Where are you trying to get with the job that you have? Maybe with the hobby that you have. What's the goal? What's the outline goal? Is it just I'm going to do something this week just for some instant gratification a couple days from now? Or am I going to go, okay, I love doing this hobby. Is there a way for me to maybe figure out a way to monetize this so at least I do this hobby for free? Yeah, or make money doing it at the same time.
I think a lot of people have figured that out with YouTube
and that's the thing. Your access to basic. You don't have to invent the way to monetize it. No. Shit, you just got to have enough tenacity to go. How do I monetize flying remote control airplanes?
Yeah.
ways to make money flying remote control airplanes. I mean, it doesn't get any simpler than this.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I remember when I was working on trucks or cars and trucks and all kinds of stuff a long time ago, I had to go to the library.
No,
Uh-oh.
that's our cue.
Motion sensors. I had to go to the library to pick up a Chilton or a Haynes manual and literally flip through the manual to figure out how to do whatever process I was doing. Change the oil pump, change the camshaft, whatever I was doing. I had to figure it out, find the torque specs. Now literally I just go on my phone, torque specs, torque specs, main bearing,